Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of our first episode of Safari Mack Explores Australia. I'm Safari Mack, your guide and host, helping you make connections to the wild. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're still here off on the Great Barrier Reef hanging out with the green sea turtle, otherwise known by the Latin name of Chelonia mitis. So today, here's the catch, with no pun intended. We're going to finish up our time with the green sea turtle by looking at the wild things, seeing some of the major problems and challenges they're facing, as well as seeing the conservation measures that are being put into action. And finally, we're going to get an early sneak peek at next week's animal. But as always, if you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Check out my Facebook page for content on conservation. And finally, if there's a question about animals or if there's an animal you want me to do in the future, all you gotta do is just send me an email, which you will always find the link to down in my description below. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get started with the wild things. So, you may remember last week that I said that the leatherback sea turtle is the largest species of sea turtle, right? Well, it turns out the green sea turtle is actually the largest species of sea turtle that has a hardened shell. Hence the name of this guy, the leatherback. This guy's shell is more soft than that of our animal that we're witnessing today. Another cool thing. Have you ever heard of the term hot girls, cool dudes? Well, no, it's not referring to attraction, but more specifically on how the temperature of nests actually encourages their development. You see, sea turtles, along with crocodilian species such as alligators, and later on when we go through Australia, we'll meet the saltwater crocodile. The temperature of their nest is what will determine what the outcome of the sex ratio is for the entire group. So, if it's a hotter temperature, this will encourage females. Colder temperatures encourage males, while somewhere in the middle, at least with sea turtles, if it's just in the middle, if it's warm enough, then it'll encourage both male and female development. Finally, for our wild things today, have you ever heard of somebody saying the sea turtles are crying? They're not really sad and they're not really shedding tears, but they're actually excreting excess salt from their bodies. See, here's the thing. Their bodies, since they live in the ocean, they have to drink salt water, and that's not a problem for them. And they have to have a way of getting rid of this excess salt. In the ocean, in the water, we wouldn't be able to see this, but on land, we get to see it like in the form of this sticky fluid-like substance that comes out of their eyes. But there's no need to worry. It doesn't really affect her at all. In fact, if anything, it kind of washes her face a little bit and seems to provide her with a little bit of clarity, because on land, sea turtles are actually nearsighted, so they can't really see too well. Now, unfortunately, we're about to get into one of the sad spots of our episode, the problems and challenges, and in this case, extreme life-threatening problems and challenges. I need to be real with you folks. Unfortunately, there is no such thing as a not endangered subspecies of sea turtle. All species of sea turtles are endangered, and it's from many problems and challenges that they face. That not just from natural causes, but also because of us, whether it was intentional or even unintentional. Let me explain. For starters, one of the major problems that's occurring somewhat naturally is climate change. Do you remember how I just said with the wild things that the temperature of the nests is what encourages the development of males or females? Well, it turns out that a study done of sea turtles, especially greens and others that hang out in the area, it turns out that female sea turtles seem to outnumber the male sea turtles by 116 to 1. Can you imagine that? So the problem with that is, as climate change comes and as moms go up to the beaches to lay their eggs and head back and their offspring come in, this, with more females involved, it means there's not really enough males to be able to help breed and continue the circle of life. thus creating a bit of a hard balancing act currently. But there's more than just that. Let's get into the human side. From poaching of their eggs as well as the sea turtles themselves to the loss of their habitat, the bleaching of coral reefs and the removal of seagrass meadows, to one of the biggest problems, bycatch. Does anybody know the term bycatch? If not, let me explain it quickly. Bycatch is a group of animals that were captured that were not intended to be captured originally. So here's an example. Let's look at the shrimp industry. So for those that like wild caught shrimp, the problem is back in the day and today, shrimp boats do very long trawls, meaning they go for a long period of time driving around on the water, catching whatever they can get in their nets and it will be hours there before they start bringing them up and counting and sorting their catch. And in that time, unfortunately, many animals, including sea turtles, get captured in these nets. And when hours go by and they have no access to be able to get out of the water and to get up to the surface to breathe, they drown. And that's caused a major decline in the adult populations. So much that many species are soon now going to be not really endangered, but critically endangered and become even more rare, like our smallest sea turtle species, the Kemp's ridley. Now, despite all the challenges and the problems these guys face, I can say this: there is hope. So remember how I said about the shrimp industry and other fishing industries with the long trawls or the deep catching of animals? Thankfully, marine biologists and citizens who care, they came up with an idea and a solution. One of these is called the turtle exclusion device. So what this does, so these ropes are attached to a boat, and as the boat goes on, fish, shrimp, and other animals get caught in this net. However, the sea turtles will have a chance to escape because thanks to a metal grate that is situated just before the end of the net, as well as a little loose knit at the top or even at the bottom of the net, these animals can slip out and continue to explore the ocean as well as soon head up to the surface to breathe. Thanks to this device, fatalities for adult sea turtles has dropped significantly. I think I can say around maybe 90% of adult fatalities have dropped thanks to the turtle exclusion device. However, there's a bit of a problem with this. This device, now don't get me wrong, this device is great. It really does work, and that's a major conservation win story. However, not all countries know of it or use it, or it's not within their rules or regulations. See, as I have said in many of my previous Safari Mack episodes, effective conservation only works if every little bit somehow comes together and cooperates. We can only do this when all countries or organizations come up with solutions together as well as agree on making these dreams and plans become a reality. How else can you support sea turtle conservation? Support your local ocean conservancies, support the rescue facilities because they work tirelessly to help save sea turtles all over the world, as well as in your own backyard for those who live close to the coastal regions. And there's more. You can, as always, you can watch your trash, make sure that you're disposing of fishing line properly, turning off your lights if you live along the beach, and show that you care by urging lawmakers and agencies to push harder to keep these rules and regulations alive and well up to date. Only doing that, you'll secure their future for the next 100 years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with the green sea turtle today. Be sure to join me next week as we meet the manta ray. But until then, this is Safari Mack. I'll see you all out there.